Hello everyone, and welcome to my video about the Saturn and Neptune conjunction. Now, I'm actually recording this beginning part of the video after I recorded the bulk of the video because I finished recording it and I realized that I had left out a very important point. And that is that this image over here that I found on the internet I thought was a beautiful representation of what I will be discussing in this video. That when you put together Saturn and Neptune, they will give birth to something that looks like this. So when you're seeing this video and you're seeing this image throughout the video, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, on with the rest of the video. In this video, I will be talking about the upcoming Saturn-Neptune conjunction. As many astrologers have been discussing, on February 20th, 2026, Saturn and Neptune will make an exact conjunction to one another at 0 degrees of Aries. Now, this is a big deal. And why, you ask, is it a big deal? Well, it's not just because Saturn and Neptune will be conjunct each other. What makes it unique is where it's taking place, at Aries 0 degrees. Now, there are, as we know, 360 degrees in the zodiac, 30 degrees in each sign. So it's easy to do the math and see that at the very least, you have really only a 1 in 360% chance of landing on this particular degree. And astrologers have used their ephemeris and astrological software programs and looked back through thousands of years of data, and they could not find another instance in known recorded history of thousands of years when this conjunction of Saturn and Neptune has landed at exactly Aries 0 degrees. Now, the length of a Saturn-Neptune cycle is approximately 36 years. So every 36 years or so, they meet up with one another. Their last meeting took place in 1989 in the sign of Capricorn. One major world event that coincided with that meeting was the fall of the Berlin Wall. So I want to take a few minutes to just look at Saturn and Neptune and see what each of them signify basically in astrology. Well, Saturn is all about structure, societal structures, physical 3D reality, our societal conditioning, traditions, things that have crystallized into form, authority, organizations, boundaries. It can represent a type of mastery or wisdom that's gained through going through something. And Saturn is the ruler of time as we know it in this 3D reality. Neptune, on the other hand, represents spirituality, mysticism, connection to higher realms or the divine, our own spiritual and intuitive abilities. It's our imagination and creativity. Neptune is the planet of dreams and visions and compassion. It's about the dissolution of boundaries and the merging with something greater than ourselves. Neptune is idealism and hope and higher love, unconditional love of the divine. It's all about what some have come to refer to as 5D reality. So when you look at these two side by side, Saturn and Neptune, you can kind of begin to see that they don't initially mix that well together. Saturn is comfortable with well-outlined boundaries, and Neptune is comfortable and wants to remove those boundaries and dissolve into something higher and something wider. But yet, now, at this time, they have come together to create something new. Because that's what Aries 0 degrees signifies, a new beginning, the birth of something new. Before we get more into that, let's take a look at what's been going on with these two planets leading up to this moment. Neptune has been its own home sign of Pisces for the past 14 years and has only very recently entered the sign of Aries for good as of January 26th. During the past 14 years, it's been very comfortable in its own home, in its own domain. It's been in its place of strength, and it's been slowly infusing its spiritual 5D influence and marinating us as a collective in that 5D influence. And this has been in order to open us up as a collective to this greater view of reality that we are all a part of from a spiritual perspective. Saturn entered Neptune's home sign of Pisces in March of 2023, where it spent the last almost 3 years itself marinating under Neptune's influence. So that's why, from a 3D Saturnian point of view, over the last few years, things have started to seem and appear just a little bit wonky in 3D reality over this time period. And that's because these old structures and old ways of looking things have really been beginning to break down. During their shared time together in Pisces over the last 2.5 years or so, Saturn and Neptune have shared some quality time together. They've gotten to know each other a little bit better. They've gotten intimate with one another as they've shared the same space. And now, as a result of that, they are giving birth to something new together, because Aries 0 degrees in astrology is a degree of birth. When you look at a natal or astrological chart, the natural spot for Aries 0 would coincide with the ascendant in a birth chart, have the same connotation. The ascendant signifies the point of birth in a natal chart. That's where the soul takes on physical form. And that's what we have going on here and now in February of 2026. Saturn and Neptune are giving birth to a child that has some qualities of both of them. So you might ask, well, what does that look like? Well, as I see it, what this all signifies is the birth of a new spiritualized type of reality. It's some type of marriage of 3D reality with 5D reality. It is the physical reality being more open to the spiritual. It opens the way for all of us in the collective to transition into a new way of seeing and a new way of being. From Saturn's point of view, or the perspective of those looking at things through 3D glasses, the things of Neptune have often been classified as too out there, or pie in the sky, or it's just your imagination. Saturn would say, get your head out of the clouds. Or if I can't perceive it with my 5 senses, it just isn't real. Because Saturn's reality has been all about 3D, which is all about the 5 senses, all about the physical. And Neptune, its way of being, embraces a larger perspective. It sees into the higher realms and perceives things beyond the physical. It utilizes senses like intuition and various spiritual gifts. It uses imagination as its tool. Saturn would say that Neptune is crazy and looking at things through rose-colored glasses, that it's out of touch with reality. But is it? No. It's actually in touch with a larger reality. But now, Saturn is opening to Neptune's influence. They have spent time together and come to understand each other in a new way. So, from this perspective, the veil has been rent. It has been torn asunder. Ultimately, what this does is it provides the opening for the light of a greater reality of Neptune, the 5D or spiritual reality, to be perceived while in the physical reality of Saturn or 3D. So ultimately, it becomes a case of it's not what you look at, but it's what you see. And we will be seeing things differently because what you see depends on which set of glasses you're wearing or having a state of awareness of. If you're wearing only the 3D glasses, which we've been pretty much so conditioned to do for the most part, you may miss out, or we may miss out on a greater reality that's always been there. You just didn't have the means, or we didn't have the openness to see it. Or Saturnian conditioning for many years has blocked it out. The 3D glasses were blocking out that part of the light spectrum. Neptune gives us rose-colored glasses, but not, I don't mean in the derogatory way that those glasses have always been referred to. Rather, they give us the opportunity to see and live from Neptune's higher way of seeing and being, and all of the wonderful potential that comes from that. But remember, I'm not talking about what one would refer to as Neptunian delusion or illusion here. I'm talking about a greater real reality that does exist beyond our physical senses. I'm talking about the opportunity to live more from our souls, to live our lives as an expression of our true self, not the boxes that 3D old ways have often put us in. However, in looking at this conjunction, I must add a little bit of caution here, because when I'm talking about this Saturn-Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries, this is the birth point, not the full realization of this new spiritualized reality. It is a place and time of potential leading to opportunity going forward. The baby is being born. It is in no way anywhere near fully grown. That growth will take place over time, a long period of time. It will have to go through the process of growing into itself. It will go through teething pains and the terrible twos and learning to walk and talk like any other child. And it will need those who will nurture and care for it so that it can reach its full potential over the course of time, which is Saturn's domain. Much like the wise men of astrologers of 2,000 years ago, I'm just an astrologer witnessing the birth of something very special. May we all bring our gifts in service of this new baby, because as a collective, it is not being born out there somewhere, it's being born in all of us and through all of us. And I'd like to close with a quote from Casey Kasem. And for those of us who remember the American Top 40, and I think this quote really kind of fits with the Saturn-Neptune theme, and that is, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. So I'm Vicki, and I'm from Epiphany Astrology, and I am signing off until next time.